Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aziza Rahmizal. I'm from Gaharu class. I hope you always healthy and happy everyone. And now I want a presentation about the consumer behavior in gold purchase in Pasaman District, West Sumatera. Background. Gold or precious metal is a metal that is soft and easily malleable. Gold is seen by most people as a safe investment or purchase tool been done since time immemorial. Gold is appreciated based on the amount of demand and supply in the market. For the consumer or shop that engage in buying and selling gold, determining the time of purchasing and determining selling price is very important because it will affect the profit will be obtained. In order to get optimal profit, trading field can determine the price of gold by price benchmark based on the market price where the price of gold in the international market itself is influenced by several factors which can affect the advantage and disadvantage in gold and why are people so interested in gold. Ownership of the gold, this is because the price of gold follows the inflationary situation. When inflation increases, the price of gold also soars. As well, the claim that occurs the price of gold in Indonesia tends to always rise, and when the price of gold decreases, its value is not too significant. This happens because when the price of gold in terms of the US dollar decreases, at the same time the price of the US dollar against the rupiah tends to strengthen. Many factors affect the rise and fall of gold price. What were gold price and gold price in Indonesia? People habits in buying gold is one way to find out about the effect usefulness of a product. Consumer motivation in making purchasing decision is important to know how they can choose to spend their money to buying to gold. Each consumer has a different nature and centrally affect the purchase of gold. Therefore, here we want to analyze how the behavior is in the form of people's habits toward gold and influence. People invest purchase intention is a tendency to take action on the object. Interest in buying gold is based on several factors, namely occupational factors, socio-economic difference in habits, and age difference. Gold is not only in demand as generally to beautiful women. Gold is also in demand by the public as a long-term investment that is considered to be able to provide benefits in the future. Of course, the understanding is not gold, which is often sold in shops or generally used by women, such as ring, bracelet, or necklace, but gold in the form of purse as no one's gold. Buying gold is very suitable for all people, but for preparing for education costs, hajj, wedding preparation, and so on. Buying gold has become an alternative for Pasaman residents who want to invest cheaply and easily with gold, especially for prospective crowns in Pasaman because when they get married, they can pay a down in gold. Research question: what is the motivation of people to buy gold? What are the advantages and disadvantages of buying gold, and how big is the influence of gold in the public? Research methodology. The object of research are to find out what people's motivations are so they want to buy gold, to find out what are the advantages and disadvantages experienced when buying gold, and to find out how big the influence of gold in the community. The method of research. The author uses a research methodology through data from interview the public, expert, and internet. In this research, The author searched and asking several people understand the data from interview and identified data in the website obtained. The study discussed of the consumer behavior in golf broadcast in Pasaman District, West Sumatra, 2021. Data analysis. The author described advantage and disadvantage in golf by live interview and searching other data websites. They explain how people like to go through interview with community and influence of God through reading, searching, and collecting data sourced by visiting news website and ask people relate to consumer behavior in God broadcasts. Research interview are the interview method is the process of obtaining information for research purpose by means of question and answer while face-to-face between the interview and respondent or person being interviewed with or without using an interview guide. Therefore, this research is the field research where the object that author aims for consumer in Pasaman District area. Through interview, author will get a lot of important information from there. Time and place. This report was carried out in the 2021 academic year to be precise, starting on October 2021 and ending in November 2021 in English subject in Simpati, Pasaman District, West Sumatra. A research discussion. Writer conducted interview on November 12, 2020 to the community at the Simpang Market and got the following data. This research approach uses a qualitative approach. The study involved 5 participants as informants for people's habits or motivation in buying gold. Taking a sample of 5 people consisting of 4 women and 1 man. Buying gold can be obtained from shops that sell gold, namely in the Pasaman District itself, the Abadikal shop in the Simpang Market, the Kumpul Market, the Bonjol Market. The result of interview regarding people's motivation in buying gold are: Mrs. Watt said, gold is jewelry that is not subject to inflation. Mrs. Ellie opinion, gold can be a saving if at any time in a critical situation can be sold. Mr. Yates opinion, gold can be stored for a long time because the price is always going up so you can make a profit. Mrs. Rossi opinion, for jewelry as well as saving. And the last, Mr. Radian's opinion is to make his wife happy. The advantage of gold are assets that are real and can be held. Is the main is people will trust assets that are tangible or held in place than assets that are only in the form of number on paper. Very easy to exchange for money. It means gold is an object that is easily sold when the situation is critical. Can be used really for profit. Many people make gold as an investment because the price is always going up. Very private. No one knows how much gold we have. In various forms, gold can be stored in a place that we think is safe and people will not know how much it is. Capital for small investments. Its meaning, gold weighing 1 gram and can be purchased so that it is affordable for all people. Easy to move or portable. This means gold is mostly in the form as jewelry and will be very easy to carry anywhere. Trouble against all extreme weather. The gold is type of precious metal object in hard and resilient. Therefore, gold is also resistant to weather. The gold is type of precious metal object in hard and resilient. Value-added tax or VATO, because it is the form of raw materials, or in the form of gold bars. The disadvantage of gold, it must be stored because it can be used, so that its beauty value can be enjoyed. Gold is object that is vulnerable to being stolen because it's expensive even in small forms. In the form of small irregular pieces so that it's not neat or except in the form of coins. There is a risk of loss when they trade in the short term, when sold at a loss when the price of gold falls. Does not generate interest profit in the form of money done correctly. Security risk could be stolen. Need a safe deposit box or SDB. Gold needs a safe place to store that people don't know so that it doesn't get stolen. It not only provides holds profit when stored for a long period of time. Gold has an influence not only in the investment field, but in various fields such as health and influence of the gold price itself. The influence of the gold in society based on the ups and downs of gold price. 1. Or certainly in gold condition, various situations that occur such as politics, economy, crisis, recession, or war on the one of the traders for the rise and fall of gold price. Why so? Because in the chaotic economic and political condition, gold is often considered a savior. Hence, when a crisis or war occurs, usually the price of gold will soar up. 2. Gold supply and demand. The law of supply and demand also applies to gold. When the demand for gold is greater than the supply, the precious metal offered by housewives will rise. On the other hand, the price will fall when the supply is greater than demand. On the other hand, the availability of gold in this world is quite limited. 3. Monetary policy. Monetary policy in question in the policy of raising or lowering interest rates. If the Fed or the Central Bank of the United States lowers interest decreases in price, at a certain time, dollar becomes attractive as an investment option and people tend to place their money in gold, vice versa. 4. Inflation. People who are reluctant to keep their asset in the form of money that easily loses value and prefer to invest in gold, whose price tends to be stable and safer when inflation occurs. This factor is increasingly in demand, then the price of gold will increase as well. And the last, United States of America dollar exchange rate. Domestic gold price refers to the international gold price converted from United States or US dollar into rupiah. Therefore, the price of gold is strongly influenced by the movement of the rupiah exchange rate against the US dollar. So, if the rupiah exchange rate against the US dollar weakens, the local gold price will strengthen, the local gold price tends to fall. The meaning of having gold for public having gold contains several meanings at once. R. Have an affluent life. Hanging securely in almost all parts of the body, even his finger will full of the gold rings. Gold as savings. Thus, gold can function as saving that any time needs emergency funds. Gold as an asset has a very high quality, meaning that it can be checked out whenever needed. Conclusion and suggestion. Conclusion. Based on the result of research on people's habits in buying gold, consumer habits toward buying and selling gold can be concluded that consumer behavior in buying gold in general is largely determined by their assessment of product attributes and price. The dominating motive of why buying gold has become a habit is because of the realistic factor. Another motivation is because they want to have saving in the future. The cash that runs out quickly makes them tend to spend their money on gold. Because gold can be used as a cashback and the selling price of gold sometimes increases. Gold can be used as a variety of jewelry. Most people will buy gold when the price drops and sell it again when the gold price rises. This makes them get a bigger profit than before. Gold is also a real asset that can be held and very easily exchanged for money. Some people also buy gold as saving for their business capital because this gold will not be damaged and last long unless the person loses the gold. Suggestion. Based on the conclusion obtained from the result of the study, it can be put forward suggestion. For other research who intend to conduct research in the field of gold, is expected to do further and in-depth research related to people's habits in buying gold with research method the same and different areas use wider applicability of these findings. In addition, this research needs to be developed by examination other aspects that influence people's habits in buying gold or gold in the relationship to more specific. Consumers should reconsider in spend their wealth. And the last, consumers should after spending their money on gold, the gold should be stored in a safe place. Thank you.